All right, everybody, we are back once again on the little baby BMW 310, giving the big brother, the big 1250 GS Adventure, a little bit of a break. In case you're new to this channel, I just bought this bike about 2 weeks ago. This is a brand new 2025 BMW GS 310. I'm still breaking it in. But by breaking it in, I mean I've already gotten 200 miles on it, 250. This bike doesn't do exact miles, it just goes by the 100 of miles. So you're breaking your bike in. If you buy one of these, it'll have a little service light when you first turn on the bike. It'll say 600, 500, 400, 300, 200. So right now I'm at 300. I'm probably more closer to 200. But I'm still breaking this bike in, and I'm loving it. It's small, it's light, and it's ready for adventure. Just because it's small does not mean it's not capable of adventure. This bike is like, it handles really good, it's smooth. I mean, and it's an affordable motorcycle, but it's also a fun motorcycle. And I think anybody in the market for a new motorcycle that doesn't have much experience with big adventure bikes, I think you're really going to enjoy this motorcycle. And I'll admit, the suspension off-road, there's been a lot of people say that it's not that great. I have yet to experience any bad suspension problems on this motorcycle. Now that's just me. And the traction that the tires come with, I mean, this is a loose kind of sandy dirt road that I'm on right now, and we just got some rain about a few days ago. And I mean, just besides normal off-road traction, you're not going to get asphalt traction off-road, but just normal off-road traction on some slippery kind of gravelly roads like this on a smaller bike, this thing handles like really good. And I mean, as you can see, I don't know how easy you can see on the camera, but it's not exactly the best terrain, but the bike compensates really good for it. And if you just allow the bike to do allow it to do what it's supposed to do, let the handling do its job, and you just maintain the direction, I mean, it's just basic off-road skills. But I have yet to actually bottom out this suspension on this bike, so as far to my knowledge, it's fine. It's more than enough. They do sell aftermarket tractive suspension that gives you a little bit more travel and a little bit more preload adjustments on your fork if you get the fork and the rear suspension adjustment. So if you do want to have that ability to adjust your suspension preload, or if you do, like, I'm really lightweight, I'm about 140 pounds, and you know, I ride the big BMW just fine, but off-road it's a lot harder for me when I drop it. And this, I'm not even worried about dropping it to start with, and if I do drop it, then I can easily pick it up. But all I'm saying is, if you're thinking about buying it, and I'm not sponsored by BMW, I'm not being paid to say any of this, I'm just simply saying that if you want a good motorcycle that rides really nice off-road for an affordable price, I mean, I would highly recommend this motorcycle. I mean, I really would. It's easy to handle, it's easy to do maneuvers with. I mean, it's overall just a really good motorcycle. I've been on this dirt road before, but I just saw that one back there that I've never been on before, and I might even flip around here in just a minute and go back up and see what that's about. But I'm just gonna let everybody know that I'm not an off-road expert, and I'm not an off-road, like, I'm not much of an off-road rider. I'm trying to be. That's why I mainly bought this bike, so I could get better at like off-road skills. But see, like that bump right there, that big pothole in the ground, this bike didn't even think twice about it. I mean, it went right over the top of it. And I mean, I'll show you, I'll demonstrate. That's the rear brake. Okay, there's nobody behind me. It stops pretty good. I mean, for a small bike, I wouldn't want to just ram down on the brake. But for a small bike, and it has what they call, it's like Brembo suspension. it's in the same branch. Brembo owns the company, and I can't remember what they're called. It's kind of like Michelin and BF Goodrich. Michelin owns BF Goodrich, but it's the more affordable line, and that's what they put on these. So you still have plenty of brake power, and the bike still has plenty of get up and go. Like when you're going up these potholes up a hill, it has no problem. And if anytime you just need to hit the gas and go, you can. I mean, this bike is like really great, and I'm trying to do the best I can to review this. And we're about to go up this. And by the way, in case you don't know, I live in southeast Alabama, and when it rains, the dirt becomes like clay, slippity slide mud. Okay, and these are the stock Metzler tires that come on this, and you're talking to somebody who's not an experienced. I grew up on dirt bikes, so obviously I know my way around the dirt, but point being is, this bike can really get up and go when it wants to. I mean, I just went up to 40 miles an hour on a dirt road, and like that. I mean, it's plenty capable, and it's fun. This bike is not an MX motorcycle. You're not gonna go 150 miles per hour. But what this will allow you to do is like explore some off-road trails, explore some things. If you're like me and you just want to get out there and ride, this bike will give you that opportunity. And I'm on some really kind of rough, gravelly road right now. Like, I'm going right into the storm of it. And this bike just handles great. It brakes great. And the great thing I like about this bike, the 1250, I went on this exact road with the 1250. And it didn't even think twice about going up them potholes or hills. But here's the thing. When you make a decision, say this was dirt and you wanted to make a decision to flip around real quick, okay? You wouldn't be able to do that as quickly. And we're going to go back on it because I want to show something. So if you were on, say this was you're on a big 1250, and I purposely went through the gravel, like the big gravel, okay? Your highest center of gravity is up here, okay? And they have telelever suspension on the forks, so it's a lot harder to tell what your front end is doing, because you're so high up in the air and your feet are like dangling. And I've got long legs, I can flat foot the 1250, but even with that ability, it's still 600 or 700 pounds of weight. Now, I try to convince myself, as many people have, that they can afford it, number one, and have the skills to do big off-road trips on a 1250. And the fact is, 90% of people don't. They either have the skills and don't have the money, or have the money and don't have the skills. And you can have all the money in the world to repair your motorcycle, but if you don't have the skills, you'll never be able to have any fun riding off-road. And I'm not going but 25, and I'm just relaxing. I'm talking, I'm having a fun time. I mean, I'm seeing all of this, and I'm not standing up, and I'm not like trying to manhandle 700 pounds off-road. I've got a 300-pound motorcycle, and I do plan on going camping on this motorcycle, and I'll add maybe another 70 to 100 pounds worth of camping gear, maybe 150 at the most if we just get carried away. So the bike will weigh not even 500 pounds with all my camping gear loaded. The basic BMW stock weighs about 650-ish, 650, 600. You start putting luggage on it, and now you're going to start getting into the 700, 750, maybe even 800. You're going to start pushing some weight, and it's not going to be fun picking that motorcycle up off of the ground on a dirt road like this. It's just not. And we're going to go over that same pothole. I'm going to ride right into it, and it didn't even think twice. I mean, it just glided right over the top of it. Now, mind you, I did say I'm 140 pounds, okay? So if you're a lot heavier, I don't know what the suspension will be like for you. That is something that I mentioned earlier about the preload adjustment with the tractive suspension. If you would like to get more adjustment, you can definitely do that. Another thing I was going to mention is when you're moving at a decent speed, off-road, it's not that big of a deal, because your suspension and your tires and all of that, they compensate for what you can't do. Where the trick comes in is when you're at the slower speed, you're at, like, you know, like what I'm at now, 7 miles an hour, and you're going through the little bitty, like the little bitty ruts in the sand. Okay, center of gravity on the 1250s are, like I mentioned earlier, they're high, and we're on some really good sands. Like, this is sand right here, this is pure sand. I can feel my traction breaking loose right now, but I'm not so high of center of gravity where I'm too concerned about it, okay? And the slower speed maneuvers, like if I decided I wanted to stop right now and flip around, I would feel confident to do that with only this much room. On a big 1250, you've got a big gas tank, and the Adventure is what I have. You've got a big gas tank. You've got to try to maneuver that big motorcycle in a small, tight dirt road like this. You can do it. I've done it. But it's not fun. You're wore out, you're tired, you're ready, you're not very confident, inspired, okay? This bike gives me confidence. When I get on it, I feel confident, and this is just personal preference. I'm not attacking anybody that goes off-road with a 1250. I know plenty of people that do it, and I've done it in the past. I'm just trying to say, in so many words, that this is so much easier, and you can still do the same thing and have the same amount of fun without spending. And that's another factor, and that's the second little point I wanted to make, which is what I kind of briefly mentioned earlier about money. You can have all the money in the world, but the fact is, it's still a $30,000 motorcycle. So even if you're very skillful of off-roading, most people are not going to spend $30,000 on a motorcycle, take it off-road, and destroy it. I watched this one guy do a really good, honest review and video of how much money he spent on his big BMW 1250. And it came out to be like $60,000 or something like that after repairs and everything and luggage. And I mean, it was just a lot of money. And I'm just not really thinking that most people like myself that go to work every day, you're not really going to want to spend all of your hard-earned dollars repairing your motorcycle. And I mean, it's just not fun. And then if you don't know how to work on your own stuff, you're talking about downtime in a dealer or in a mechanic shop or something. Like you're talking about sometimes maybe upwards of months before you can even get your motorcycle back. So it's definitely something to consider. It's all those factors. It's contributing factors. If you've ever heard that word, there's contributing factors when making a decision. And that's kind of why I made the decision to get this bike. Now, I love my 1250 and I'm going to keep it forever. However, when I want to go off-road, this is the bike that I'm going to take, because this is the bike that I feel confident on, and it's just an opinion. It's not a rule. It's not set in stone. This is just something that I feel like I'm very assured on when I get on it, that I don't have to worry about. Even if I do drop it, I can easily pick it back up. And I know this video, and you're probably wondering, what's the point to this whole thing? I'm wanting to kind of validate anybody that's out there that was like me, that bought a big BMW 1250 under the impressions that with their skill set they could take a big bike off-road. Now, you can work up to that, and most people do, but that is not the bike that you want to start on to do big adventure, dirt road adventures or off-road adventures. You want something, in my opinion, and considering all the contributing factors, you want something like this. Now, is there anything, like I said, there's nothing wrong if you've got the skill set and you've got the money and you don't mind spending, like that guy said, $60,000 to $70,000 repairing constantly your motorcycle suspension and fork seals and fork oil and tires. And on that bike, it has a drive shaft, so you might have to repair that if any, rust develops inside of it. It's all of those things that contribute. And so that's why I'm making this video. And I also wanted to kind of demonstrate the performance of the off-road. I wasn't going crazy. and I'm not planning on going crazy off-road. That's what roads like these are for, when I want to get up to 55 and 60 and do some curvy. And this is kind of the point I wanted to make too. It's like this bike, it's kind of what they try to make the 1250s sound like. This bike is like everything, okay? It'll do the curvy curves, it'll take you camping with the right luggage. And I've got the Tusk Highland X2 rackless luggage system with the medium dry duffel bag and 2 bottle holders, which comes in the Tusk tank bag, which comes out to be almost 100 liters worth of storage. It's exactly 87 liters, and when you add the tank bag in it, that's an extra 6. So you're getting real close to 100 liters of storage. And if you get yourself, if you get yourself a normal size tent or a hiking tent, you can still pack that in your clothes and any electronics that you might have and go on the off-road excursion, go on the BDR, and do all of those fun trips. With little to no off-road experience, you can develop that really easy on this motorcycle and become confident. Now, after a few years of doing that, you feel like you're really confident, you want to step it up. You know, you want to maybe move up to a 650 or a 700, and then slowly continue to develop your skills off-road. Then you could take the big bike off-road. But even then, even once you get really developed and really skilled off-road and being able to manage sand, being able to manage mud and water crossings and all of the things you're going to come up on during your off-road trip, even if you get really good at being able to manage all of that stuff, think about how much easier it would be if you had 300 pounds less of weight right off the bat. I mean, like I said, it's just my personal preference, personal opinion. I'm not ever going to sell the 1250, never going to give it away. I'm going to ride it. I'm going to enjoy it. But I have to just be honest, and I can say this because I am a R1250 GSA owner, as if that makes me have any more of an opinion. But I can say this because I've ridden the bike. I've ridden it off-road. And if you really want to be honest with yourself, the fact of the matter is, it's 700 pounds. 650. I don't know what the actual spec is online. I don't know what the brochure says it is, but what I do know is it's roughly 650 to 700, and you start adding luggage, and how much, depending on what kind of luggage system you've got, you're talking of even upwards of maybe 800 pounds, which I know some people may be laughing at me right now, saying there's no way you're going to get your BMW GSA to 800 pounds. But it doesn't really take long. I mean, you think about a couple of Panniers and you load them babies down with tents and sleeping bags and cots or you know, cooking gear, and you start loading it down with all the essentials and toiletries. It really does not take long to get to that 200 pounds. So I'm just saying, this is the only video, and I know you didn't have to click on this video, and you probably didn't know what you were even clicking on, but I just wanted to kind of make that point and kind of make it known that that's why I got this motorcycle. I love this motorcycle. I'm still breaking it in, so I'm trying not to go too hard with it, but I wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of an honest demonstration from an average Joe that has both the 1250 GSA and this bike. I'm not a very mechanical person. I know my bike. I know what it's got. I know what it can and cannot do to an extent based on my skills. There's so many factors that contribute to that I cannot give anybody a definite answer on which bike is right for you. One of the things that I heard someone say about this particular bike is, this is a great bike for determining what kind of riding that you're wanting to do. And it's also a great bike that if you want to do a little bit of everything, you've got that option. But this is a good bike. It's lightweight. It's good for people just getting into the hobby of motorcycle riding and really getting interested into it. This gives you the ability to see if you want to do more street riding, if you want to do more off-road riding, or if you want to do more sport touring or sport motorcycle riding, because it has a small little percentage of each one. Now this bike does lean more towards, of course, the off-road, because that is what it's really supposed to be for. It's lightweight, it's got the tires, and it's got the suspension. But the point of it is, it has everything needed for everyone out there to kind of get their feet in the water to see what kind of motorcycle type of riding they want to do. And if you want to do adventure riding, then this is the perfect bike to start with, or just to stay with. Or if you want to get another bigger motorcycle and keep this as more of a, you know, more of a commuter adventure bike that you can ride around your local area, it can do everything. And I would feel even confident about taking this bike and going 200 or 300 miles easy in a day without even thinking about it. And I'd feel more than confident to take this on a 2,000 mile trip. You know, basic mechanical skills and basic preventative maintenance can make this bike do just about everything that the big R1250 GSA will do, minus the gas tank. But you're also talking about it's 300 pounds less, so you got to factor that in. I'm getting 217 miles right now on this tank right here, and I've already ridden since I filled up before I started recording. So it can get, with my skinny self on it, it can get about 250 miles per tank. And the BMW gets about 400 or 350 with me on it. So this gets just under about 150 miles less than the big 1250 is. And most of the time, wherever you're going, you're not going to be more than 150 miles away from a gas station most of the time. And if you are, there's a simple solution for this bike. Is the bags I was just describing actually has bottle holders that are designed for gas. They make gas tanks or gas bottle holders. You put gas in a sealed bottle holder and you put that in your bag, so you have that ability to carry extra, just 1 gallon. And this is only at the 3.4 gallon tank, not liter but gallon, but it's roughly about 3. And so with 1 gallon, you're talking about probably 75 miles, 65 to 75 miles in one tank, or with 1 gallon. So you're still got the mobility if you do run out of gas somewhere off-road, and you put that in, you've got an extra, it's almost like a reserve. You've got another 70 miles before you have to worry about, you know, running out of fuel again if you don't have any extra. And then you just refill your bike and your bottle when you get to the gas station. There's always ways to figure things out, and it's a lot, and carrying 1 extra gallon of gas is a lot lighter than carrying around 700 pounds on a big bike. A lot easier. But I'm just really enjoying it. I mean, and I just feel really confident and inspired to go on any road that I want. I mean, in some of these roads that you've even seen me do on this video, I've never even, these are local roads that I've always kind of wanted to do, but I've never actually, because I knew they were going to be dirt roads, I never actually really went on them or tried to go on them, just go out and ride dirt roads. But now when I get on a road that I think maybe turn it into a dirt road or is a less maintained road, I feel confident now to get on those roads and see those different things. Because for me, riding is not so much about how fast I can go or how cool I can look. It's about seeing it's about seeing everything. It's about seeing the outdoors and all this stuff. I mean, God created all these trees, all this grass, and all these people that live out here everywhere, that, you know, small little communities. All this is out here just waiting to be, you know, we've already discovered it, but waiting for you to go out and see it. And so that's what this bike does. I mean, it allows me to have fun enjoyment without worrying about getting hurt. Because if I drop this bike, instead of 700 pounds potentially falling on the top of me, I've only got 300 pounds. And did I mention too that this particular bike is about 6,500. I bought 2 of them. I bought me one and my dad one. Because we bought 2, we were able to get both of them at 13,000 out the door. So that's exactly 6,500 after taxes, dealer prep, and everything. We've got a sweet deal on these motorcycles. two motorcycles that are brand spanking new for $13,000. I mean, that was to me, I thought that was really cool, just having that. And it was also a fun transaction too. I mean, everything about the experience has been fun. The purchase of it was fun, going to the dealership was fun, the ride home was fun, because it wasn't breaking the bank. I didn't feel like I was sitting there, you know, risking my entire life savings. And I have to tell you, that was a fun transaction. I mean, not having to go in there, and it was also, I paid for them in cash, which also helped the transaction. So it's just, it was a lot more fun experience. And I know I'm kind of blabbing, and I've probably extended this video a lot further than you were wanting to watch. And there's probably not very many of you that are still here, because some of the things that I said in this video you probably disagreed with. However, I'll stick to what I've said, and I'll stick to what I've always kind of believed deep down in me, which is the 1250s, as much as I love them and as much as I'll never get rid of them, because they're more convenient for bigger for on-road adventures, for more touring, and I also just like the adventure style. I'm not big on gold wings or anything like that. I do like the adventure style, and I like to feel like I'm actually on a motorcycle. So in that respect, I still love it. But they do have a marketing scheme, or marketing, they target people that desire the adventure, and they get people that are really experienced to make those types of videos where it looks like they're really just having a fun time. And they are, but they're also experienced riders that, you know, are able to do the really complicated off-road maneuvers with those bikes. And 85% to 90% of people do not know how to do any of that. And they won't advertise a bike. They'll sell bikes like this just to have the market, but they won't really advertise this bike as much. They would rather advertise their flagship model and get more revenue from that, instead of selling a lot of these. And I understand from a company perspective and from just a business standpoint, it makes sense. And those are just all, like I said, that's everything you have to consider. But if none of that bothers you, and you're experienced off-road, or you're confident taking a big bike like that off-road, then I absolutely 100%, I'll tell you right now, go out there and have a blast. Whatever bike you want to ride off-road, do it. I mean, if it's off-road able, it's capable, and you want to do it, then go have a blast. But yeah, I know I've been kind of blabbing on a lot on this video, and I apologize for anybody that, you know, I may have offended. I'm just trying to give the most, I'm just trying to look at it from both perspectives. This bike has no crash bars right now. I purchased some from a company called SRC, and I purchased this windscreen. So a lot of the things, if you want extras, yeah, you have to spend the extra money, and that's why it's so much cheaper, because you do have to fork the money out to get this didn't come with it, crash bars don't come with it, luggage system racks don't come with it. So